Hi everyone, my name is Rizky Kurnianto here. You can call me Rizky. First, thank for KL Sayang Center for Conservation Bioacoustics, Gajah Mada University, University Malaysia Terengganu, and also Borneo Nature Foundation for organizing this event. And also thank you for selecting our team for bioacoustic equipment and training program for Indonesia and Malaysia in the second year cycle. This event will help Indonesians and Malaysian researchers learn more about advance in bioacoustic science. Our project title is Revealing the Bioacoustic Characteristics of the Only Protected Amphibian Species in Indonesia, Bleeding Toad or Leptoprine cruentata. This project will be conducted in Gunung Gede National Park, West Java, Indonesia. And now, this is Mount Gede Bleeding Toad team. Consists of 3%. The first is me, Rizky Kurnianto here, a PhD student in Tropical Biodiversity Conservation, IPB University, Indonesia. My research focus on amphibian conservation. My PhD research is about habitat, distributions, and population viability of bleeding toad or Leptoprine cruentata in Gunung Gede National Park. The second is Mirza Rini or Mirza. She is my mentor and my supervisor. She worked as a lecturer at Department of Forest Resources Conservation and Ecotourism, IPB University, Indonesia. She is a professor in amphibian and reptile conservation and has been conducting research for more than 3 decades in her field. The third is MHD Muhajir Hasibuan or Hasibuan. He is my workmate as a lecturer at Department of Forestry Engineering at Institut Teknologi Sumatera, Lampung, Indonesia. His research focuses on bat bioacoustic and conservation. This is our study species of bleeding toad or Leptoprine cruentata. This species is described by study in 1838. The name is derived from Latin cruentus, mean bleeding. Bleeding toad has a small slender form with female body size is larger than male as usual. This species is unique, and the cute toad that has several color combinations including mixtures of black, gray, red, yellow, and orange. Despite being the exclusive amphibian species under the protections in Indonesia and listed as critically endangered species by ACN, the bleeding toad remains significantly under studies. The bleeding toad research currently consists only 19 existing literature sources, so there is still a lot of limited information about this species, including an absence of any bioacoustic record. This species has several traits. Has small population distributed only 2 national parks. There are Gunung Gede National Park and Gunung Halimun Salak National Park, and both are active volcanoes. The third is volcano eruption threat and recreational activities threat from tourists. And until now, there has been no research to study the bioacoustics of bleeding toad, but I can recognize the sound of bleeding toad in nature like this. There are no proper sound recording yet, but bleeding toad sounds like a cricket. This is the research questions, our research question. The first is how the bioacoustic characteristics of bleeding toad. The second, might divergent habitat lead to variations in acoustics characteristics of bleeding toad, because this species live in several habitats from waterfall, fast streaming rivers, and slow streaming rivers, including lake. The third is how communication strategy does the bleeding toad employ within a waterfall habitat that has high noise disturbance. The last is passive acoustics monitoring, or PAM, is a feasible approach for present detections and quantifying bleeding toad population within their natural environment. The research sites will conduct it in Gunung Gede Pangalengan National Park in several resort management area including Cibodas Resort, Salabintana Resort, Tegaraga Resort, and Cisarua Resort. This is the perspective of this project. These projects will provide new evidence how passive acoustic monitoring or PAM hold the potentially to swiftly furnish data for the identification of bleeding toad presence and enabling early detections. Furthermore, this study has the capacity to yield novel insight into communication strategy employed by amphibians in waterfall. In this regard, it stands to enrich scientific comprehensions of amphibian behavior within mountainous terrains. Okay, that's all about our team projects for bioacoustics of bleeding toad. Thank you.